shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on.
Welcome to the Starchild Network on SQR.FM radio with your host, Tiffany Howe from Heaven Blessed Life Center. During our show, we will travel together on a path to discover our inner wisdom and start to become the true masters of our lives through love, light, and knowledge. You are a large part of our network, and for the next hour, we will visit with our host, special guest, and be joined by our own Stardust panel. This is your time, so relax and let's get started. Now, here's your host, Tiffany.
Welcome to the Starchild Network today, this beautiful day of October the 9th, 2011. My name is Eric, and we are joined today by our guests, Arcturus Ra and Isa. Ra's YouTube channel, which provides many Ascension resources, currently has over 340,000 views. In this hour, we'll be discussing the ascension of consciousness on the planet and allowing Ra to give us his wisdom to assist us on our path. Before we begin, I'd like to have everyone participate in a short meditation. Relax. Close your eyes and clear your heart and mind. See yourself inside, sitting peacefully, and slowly take 2 steps down and rest inside your heart. Feel yourself move down and sit in your chest or heart area. Now, sit calmly and feel everything around you. Feel your heart energy radiating. Be calm. Picture light in your heart growing larger and larger until it fills your whole body and shines out from your body about 3 feet. Feel it pulsating and getting stronger. And now ask the Holy Order of Protection to surround you and slowly open your eyes. Arcturus Ra, welcome. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Thank you. I'd like to start out by just allowing you to explain a little bit about yourself and your YouTube channel, etc.
Okay. My YouTube channel, people will find that under Sirius Starseed, because that's how I started off with information that came through Sirius. Later on, I realized that I had spent some time on Sirius, and that I'm actually Arcturian, and that I am the representation of an intergalactic committee represented by the Arcturians. And I had no idea what that. It's hard to start that topic because it begins basically everywhere. It sprinkles like pixie dust throughout my entire life. All I can say is introducing myself to this phenomenon that I know that I'm a starseed. Explaining what a starseed is to those that don't know what that is if you have memories of distant planets or different lifetimes not on Earth, and you realize that you are in human form, but your soul comes from another planet or another star system, that makes you basically your typical ET in human form. And there are many of us here. So far, the rough statistic we have is we have 750 million starseeds on Earth. We also have Earth incarnates. These souls are basically the children of Gaia and Earth keepers that have to go through the evolutionary process of transmuting the Earth energy before they become interstellar and ascend and go out. We are more like a volunteer crew among many other races that ascended before And we don't call ourselves masters. It's more like it's our job to do that. And we descended, coming back here to help to bring Earth back online in its original vibratory frequency. And this is a great time to be in, as try to imagine you're in human form and you think that you're human, and then all of a sudden you have trigger impulses that are somewhat of psychedelic nature that trigger certain DNA protocols within you, and you wake up one day speaking star language, ancient codes, translation of text that nobody knows about. You have knowledge about physics or quantum physics that have not been written yet. You sound like a crazy man or Renaissance man. But more now, we are living in an age where I was given the opportunity to make that intel that I'm getting, bring it into a tangible form that people can grasp actually what I'm trying to bring across without talking so much about who I am and what I am and what my mission on Earth is. The difficult part is to find out what your mission on Earth is as you grow up going through all these projections they give you of what you're supposed to do, what your job's supposed to be, what society's supposed to be, and where you will find yourself being accepted by collectives that are more like markers showing you when you are on your path or when you're off your path. So it took me almost 40 years to find out exactly how do I magnify that what I have within me, because it doesn't do nobody no good if I write star codes all over the wall or I speak star language, because people can not translate that yet. And not everybody is in the same vibratory frequency. So I had to find ways to bring more fields of experiences to people, as in when I developed my Rainbow Ascension key, which can be found on my site, the ra-key.com, where you have a transformational tool that is a pendant unlike any other pendant in the world, because I have direct intel of what components I can bring together to give people an experience that they can document in their own words and tell me, this is how I feel, and then I can reply and guide along the way and be more of a server connecting the cosmic conscious internet, such as servers do. So far, so good.
Okay, and can you describe Starseed a little more for our listeners?
Okay, Starseed is it's a very complex situation. It's a starseed is basically, because people say indigo crystals and rainbow children. Everybody is special. Nobody is superior or less superior or whatever. Everybody has a role to play. Starseeds is like, imagine you are a Starfleet commander, you on a ship, and they show you opportunities to go to certain planets that need restoration and light coordination. You can say, just like imagine a super scientific science fiction that you haven't even realized yet. And then you say, okay, I like that assignment. Let me go to Gaia and have my memory wiped as I leave the ship. Have me incarnate in a human form and let me find my way back to who I am and make the right choice to bring that planet back online. So a starseed is an extraterrestrial soul in human form that, once awakened, will bring forth things that others won't. Meaning, I have complete downloads of temple structures and energetic structures that I can set up using certain minerals, frequencies, and geometry that I can access from my brain. I don't even need to put that in a scrapbook and build it. And once you sit in there, something similar to when the sky opens can take place. So we can bring into form as pure channels what needs to be brought to earth, such as the Bible predicts the cities of light, which the idea is to erect buildings more dome-shaped using earth materials, enlightened materials, such as what I call photonic substance. That means that a supercharged, light-amplified quartz crystal mixed with concrete that you use as a house that is connected as a superconductor, so your soul can basically connect with the other realms, learning its multidimensional aspects. As in star seeds, when we go to sleep, and many of us have these experiences, and maybe I can help clarify that. When you wake up in the morning and you have loss of orientation, you're not aware of where you are, that means you just came from another dimension. So slowly we will develop the awareness that once you go to sleep, the vessel on earth is put to rest. Your light body goes to the ship. You are injecting into another vessel, and you go to work. Actually, we don't really sleep, meaning like at night we're doing double duty. At night times we're on the ships doing assembly, documentation of the three-dimensional exploration of this realm, and anchoring. And when we wake up, basically, is your entire construct of your memory banks that's in your vessel is reactivated in a nanosecond. Your light body is downloaded back in, and you wake up in this dimension. So we are basically living in two worlds or two different dimensional segments. So star seeds have problems with trying to blend with human actions, and they never can because they're not human. We have ADD. We have ADHD. We have the combination of ADDHD, meaning that are the third eyes trying to begin to fire up very, very at a very young age, like around 11. We have sugar cravings like crazy. Our temperature is like a degree below average, the human body temperature. We have problems with the cold. So there are symptoms and things in our makeup from which we know that we come from other planetary systems. And most of us, if they tap into the star language, remember our original star language and even telepathy. So some people think they're weird or they're losing their mind. They're not. Actually, we're becoming very active, and it makes it very difficult growing up when people think that you're crazy, and you have the experience that you can talk to other beings in other dimensions. And it's hard to put into words to explain that. It's like you put your diving suit on in this world and you dive in this dimension, and then you switch suits, basically going into another dimension. And a star seed is a soul that is definitely not from Earth, walks on Earth, but has everything to do with outer planetary systems, coming back here as a volunteer to help to bring the planet back online. And not everybody is full-blown awake or aware that they are. Hope that helps.
Definitely. I had a quick question.
Yeah.
We have someone asking on the title of the show, you put how fantastic this world is. Can you describe a little bit more of where you got the inspiration for that title?
Okay, how fantastic this world is. Years ago, I had an invitation to do an entheogen substance in a ceremony to clear myself out in the wild. So I was thinking it's going to be trippy, you're going to see some auras, and it's going to be fun. Little did I know that as I fully activated my cosmic self, I was fully telepathic. And I realized if your brain works at 100% efficiency and your brain hemispheres are synchronized and your cerebellum that on average oscillates between 8 to 13 times a minute, that is like translated into hertz. So once you're active, it's 40 hertz. And then I realized the accessibility that you have as a superhuman. That doesn't mean immediately that you can fly. All of these programs, I call them holographic super constructs that need to be integrated within yourself is you have superior knowledge to yourself. That's not in a book. We are beyond books. Not all knowledge is immediately applicable. So you have to use your filter. So what happened to me is I had eyes, meaning like I began to see the real world. And I could see elves in the tree, around the tree trunks, looking at me, and they realize that I'm looking in. And I realized that's intelligence looking at me. I'm not making that up. So I realized they're trying to tell us that we hallucinate when we see these things. But these beings make contact. They give you tangible things or show you places. Or, I mean, I was shown a place to, when I started developing my key, to find some glass plates, which I called the Arcturian healing plates. And they showed me where to dig. So something from the ethereal realm pointed. I went in 3D and I dug and I found tons and tons of glass plates that I utilized in transforming my artwork into what it is now. So that means that there's intelligence there. That's something that communicates. We have to find what's tangible. And the fantastic world is you can talk to elves, you can talk to mermaids. The reason why you don't see them is because they're interdimensional. Interdimensional means they oscillate on a higher frequency, such as you see, like people can't hear bats, but dogs can hear bats because bats make noise on an ultrasonic pitch, which is a higher octave. So the visual spectrum that you see with your eye is a very low spectrum because we are in a very dense situation on Earth, and Earth is on a very low frequency. I don't want to make predictions, but it is my feeling that once the layers thin out and the vortexes begin to speed up in momentum, you will begin to see things that you have never seen before in your life. Cameras catch that. You know, they call it glitches or mistakes or software malfunctions. That's not the case. You'll begin to see the fantastic world that is out there. You can touch a tree and get a download from history that's unbelievable. You can be sitting in the desert and use the sand as natural television and access the database of the sand particles. And even when and it's so fantastic is I call it the intranet. Like I could stream my consciousness, link to planets, look at pictures, look at distant spaces. I could communicate to different timelines and different beings that were linked to the same data stream. And I was crystal clear in my mind. And I was like, if we come to the realization that we have dormant, call it cosmic applications laying around us, thousands, and in this, what we call the so-called real life, we have like 4 or 5, the accessibility is infinite. What you can do is infinite. The possibilities have no limit. And it's fantastic. Everything is there. There's nothing missing. And we will no longer be in a state of deficit. And people will realize that. It will be, for some, it will be a shock to realize that it's there, because we're like domesticated pets sitting in a prison, and imagine you've been in that prison for 26,765 years, and all of a sudden the door opens. You don't know what that is, freedom, for you have never lived it. You don't know what that is, love, because the real love, you have never experienced it because you've never been in that resonating field, which is another explanation. When I see ships, or I have the opportunity to be called in, or I can call them in or vector them in, they're not metallic, they're more like rainbowy and crystalline. I've seen beings of light sitting in gigantic crystals that are glowing of luminescent, translucent, rainbowy light structures, and they emanate on the highest light frequency that you can imagine. And when they come near, you're on your knees, you cry, you feel so much love you have never felt into your entire life. You have never felt that love coming from a husband, a partner, your mommy or daddy, whatever. This love is the ultimate and the original love that comes from the original source code, which is actually where we come from. And that shows me that the world, actually, when you get to see the real world, is super fantastic.
Absolutely. And we'll get right back on that right after a quick break.
Okay.
You're listening to the Starchild Network on SQR.FM radio with your host, Tiffany Howe. Please join us each Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time as we begin to empower our youth with love, light, and knowledge, guiding them to their heart center and providing a clear path to have a planet full of wonder, excitement, and self-mastery of life. Call or Skype us with questions or comments at 201-793-9022. Enter code 957-9082 # and press the star 9. For additional information and tools, visit our website at www.heavenblessedlifecenter.com. Now, let's continue with our show, including our Stardust panel and wonderful guest and your host, Tiffany.
This is Eric, and we're back. And Isa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you have any questions for our guest?
No.
Okay, then let's continue on here. What advice would you have, Ra, for children and young adults who are beginning to identify themselves with their vibration and connecting to their higher heart center?
Trust your gut, trust your feeling, trust your heart. Scan yourself and feel that your mind matches your heart. If you're in a situation that makes you feel uncomfortable, you get out of that situation. Be at peace, be one with you, and be in the center of your heart. And the answers are all inside. The news and everything that's around you can be very confusing and very distracting. And try to find those that listen to you, those that can hear what you're saying, and those that can really, really get in resonance with your field. And then you see how you feel and trust your feelings. Don't, like when you get goosebumps, these are certain alert systems that we have to basically adjust our mind state into knowing that something is happening or something is changing. It doesn't always have to be something negative. Get into practicing your star language, even if you don't understand what you're saying, or some that can do automatic writing and you can write in star language. If you don't know what you're writing, just keep practicing it, because that's part of you. And it's part of your skill that is coming back to the surface. And you can trust in that as you develop yourself growing into that. And watch my channel and my brother's channel, who remembers me from ancient times. My channel is on YouTube, Sirius Starseed, and my brother's channel is called Daro7. And we talk about the ascension process and the symptoms and how to work with that, how to practice astral projection, what we experience, what we go through, how we handle the situations in life as starseeds, because there's different applications for starseeds and different approach to things as we see things more from an energetic perspective. And if you have questions, find us and the videos, and sometimes we can even answer. We are doing our best to assist you in a way growing up and coming into your power, and with the light tools that we make as well, that help you align back to what you truly naturally are. So we have the ra-keith.com, and we have galacticwands.com for those who would like to investigate. And people that watch us are very thankful for. They have a guide now, because we don't think you're crazy if you're talking to elves. We don't think you're crazy if you see spirits. We don't think you got problems or issues if you see shadows. What we want to do is go to the root of the situation and help that the communication is established, and you can utilize your skill. Use that what you have to your advantage as the new world, as we will call it, Earth 5.0, is approaching.
Thank you very much for that. I especially enjoyed your video, Ascension Intel, and in one of those videos you described needing action within the third dimension to create a ladder for your higher goals, so to speak. What can you give to others as far as ways they can elevate their horizons?
Oh yeah, I have a lot to say in that department. And the coming frequencies that are approaching for the next 2 months, there will be a difference between the dreamers and the doers. And I could even say third, the dream doers. What we have to do now, like you said, with the action, like when I communicate with my Arcturian brothers and sisters, they say that you have contact and visions and all of this is all fine. But what we need to do now is to anchor the light. You have to do that in the physical. Can nobody, to my experience, tell me that they sit there and can activate their pineal gland by just sitting there and meditating on it? Because they don't know how to activate the pineal gland. Because they don't know how to decalcify the pineal gland, you know? So people should Google that, how to decalcify your pineal gland. Investigate. What is it that I need in order for my third eye to actually expand and use? Because if you're not using that muscle, nobody has taught you to train that muscle. You don't have hands-on experience. You cannot, sorry for having to say, sit there kumbaya in imaginary headspace and believe the world will rise and you don't have to do anything. The universe needs your participants. You need to participate in the action so it can respond in what you do. So as they say, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You have to build certain things or put certain things in place or speak certain words in order for certain light frequencies to be anchored. If I dream of an intergalactical temple that will open dimensional gates and I just have the schematic in my head, nobody will have the experience. Nobody will get to see it. Nobody will see that there's a possibility that this can be brought in because I'm staying in the theoretical headspace, which right now we are giving opportunities to. If you have an idea of how to bring something into form, let's bring the dream into form. Move into your dream. Begin living your dream. Get out of saying I could or I should, but I can't because. We have to get out of, and it's to some it sounds a bit harsh. I don't mean it that way, but we have to stop finding excuse for ourselves why we're not activating, why we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, why we're not in love. We should practice that, and we should speak truth. If there's something that we don't like, we should speak truth. We don't have to take energies upon energies from other people given to us, not saying anything because we fear we're not being loved or there will be a conflict on the horizon because we speak the truth. When you speak your truth, you assemble your team. You find like minds. You find those that speak the same truth, and you understand you come into the same resonating aspect. So I'm saying, which is like one of my favorite top topics is, are you a dreamer or are you a doer? And just this morning I had an inspiration to do a 20-minute video, which I will upload probably tomorrow, that I'm talking about is that we have to stop blaming the system, the government, the FBIs, the CIAs. Everybody does what they do. Question is, what are you doing with yourself right now? What are you activating right now? What are you bringing into form right now? And do you speak good? Do you feel good? And do you love yourself? Do you accept yourself? You can do so much more in the field when you're there, when you step away from all the external sources or forces that you believe that are in the wrong. Their time will come to an end and they're losing power in their construct. And I say, when the source comes back, when heaven comes back, you must be not that smart, not wanting the party with the angels and us. Because everybody wants to be where the party's at. Nobody has to work. We don't have to get into that where we come from, which is an old paradigm. We want to play and explore the galaxy and build and expand. Yeah, hope that helps.
Yes, that's perfect. I wanted to get your opinion a little bit more about some of the revolutions that are taking place around the world right now, going on in different countries and in the United States with the Occupy Wall Street. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are on, you can suppress the natural flow of energy can be suppressed for some time. And I think the forces that be and the powers that be, they know that. You can hold a certain construct for some time, but that time is finite. It's not forever. A dam can hold but so much, and nature have its way, and we lose power of maintenance in that department, and nature will find a way to break free. And when that happens, you have no technology on Earth, you have no system on Earth that will stop the conscious flooding that will take place, because the human conscious collective is seeking to expand, seeking to grow, seeking to become interstellar, because it's their natural program and there's nothing to stop it. So we will see these precursors, and you basically like stuff will boil over here and there. And this is the result of suppressed energies. And people are the conduits for the energy that wants to be released right now. And that is what we're witnessing all over the planet right now.
Absolutely. And what do you see as far as the Mayan calendar ending here in the next few days, actually?
I think energetically that the 11-11-11 switch will be an interesting date. Just energetically. I'm not talking about any earthquakes or floods or any calamities or catastrophes. I'm more like that we will feel different in our bodies as we go from carbon-based to crystalline being, and the energy rushes that will take place from now till that date. I find interesting the calendar date that not so many mention is the October 28th. That is when the actual cosmic download waves end. You know, the night and day period when you get your download, and the next week you'll be tested on that download. People are not so much aware of that. These downloads are for what will your choice be when the situation comes again with a new download. So basically, your old synaptic functioning and memory banks of the older people are being erased and replaced with new energetic support systems, meaning that you will have new ideas to manifest and get into abundance. And these ideas you didn't have 20 years ago or 10 years ago. The young ones, the kids that are 15 right now, 14, 17, they come in without breaks. They come up with full-blown sight. They are in these energy waves. They learn to ride and keep that energy up. And I find interesting is that the old paradigm world, to me, will end in a cosmic sense October 28th. And I don't think, as people say, oh, doomsday and Earth is going down. No, I believe Earth is receiving upgrades as we speak. And people that are afraid of change, they are afraid of they will lose power in that old construct. Well, the new construct demands authentic business, fair trade, green energy, and realizing what works in harmony with Earth and the cosmos, and how to get energy from the zero field to borrow it and give it back to the zero field. And whoever is not working in that new paradigm will be out of business or throughout the years go extinct. It's a choice that you have, and you will clearly see where this will go. So I think October 28th will be, to me already, that is the 212 marker. Once 212 comes, we will already be deep in a new paradigm, and a lot of fantastic new technology will be released that will blow people's mind or not. I mean, I'm blown away every day by things that I see that are being released. To me, that's magical. You know, understand the computer or the connection that we have right now is that my central processing unit on my Mac sings a certain sound because electricity fires through my CPU, and because it sings a certain sound through the silica-based processor, we can communicate. I find that magical, that we have to come into a state that we can appreciate how creative we are, that we don't have to fight wars, that you can be anywhere at any time and you can create anything you want to do. There's no deficit. Deficit is an illusion of the mind. And I think a lot of clarification from now to the 28th will take place. A lot of emotional clearance within the emotional construct of the self will take place. And a lot of people will become naturally intelligent, coming out of the dormant dungeons of the mind, breaking forth into a new light of existence, in new life, And I say to those listeners that can feel the resonance of what I'm saying is, be about it. Be brave. Step into the light. Step into your role. Don't be afraid to have responsibility, meaning the ability to respond in a correct way, in a new waveform, in a new format, because the page is white now. You can write your never-ending story now. You don't have to go by old experts or old knowledge. Everything will be anew, and you get to design and help along to co-create the situation, which I think is a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. We actually have a listener, Spring Indigo, and she just wants to let you know that, well, I'll quote her. She says, "I love you, Ra." So just wanted to let you know that. We'll move on here. In some of your videos, you describe visions, number codes, license plates that can be used creatively to assist people in Ascension. Can you describe more in depth your experiences with that?
Okay, the experiences, one movie that I can recommend is what people can watch. It's called The Adjustment Bureau. That actually shows how angels operate and how they operate to make sure that you stay on your path, and how old the system has gotten, that our paths got so crusted and fixed that we lost flexibility in changing or choosing a path, or getting up saying, no, I don't want to go this direction, I want to go that direction. So what you see with the numbers, let's say a lot of you see the 111 or the 1111 or even 111111, or you see 2222 or 2323, or you see 333 or 144, or you wake up at a specific time throughout when you're ejected and you're on a ship. The universe is trying its best to surround you with synchronistic realization so you can adjust your path, coming into awareness where you're going. So the more you are aware of where you are and your surroundings, the more you understand the program codes. These are like angels or assistant angelic programmers that assist you in the most fantastic way that you would find your path. So if you have the 111 around you, that means that's bullseye. That means you're on your path. Let's say if you have a 666 around you. First off, let me clear that up. 666 is not the mark of the beast. 666 is the mark of the human form, which is the carbon-based being, which is 666. And that means you're about to fulfill something and you will finish that. And that is a three-dimensional aspect, which is positive. Once you realize, let's say a 999, that means you have completed the process of a three-dimensional aspect. You have anchored the light and you will go on to the next. What I do is I combine, I take pieces of the Kabbalah, I take pieces of the ancient Chinese I Ching Oracle, and see where the parallels are to see how the numbers make sense. I check the book, Doreen Virtue, Numbers in You, to see what these number codes mean. She breaks it down from 0 to 999. You can combine these numbers so you can read what that means. Certain number sequences say that the Ascended Masters or your angelic assistant is around you. You have nothing to worry. So, and once you take that to mind and you realize these program codes, and you, even if you don't understand it all, but you realize that it happens and you pay attention to that, you expand your mind, you realize more, you are get more positive energy, and you basically watch the signs along the ride as the ascension process takes place.
Thank you very much for that. We have another question from a listener, Heaven Blessed. She wants to ask, how can we empower the youth more right now?
Is the best way, the fastest way I have is to reach them with my channel. Because if it was up to me, I would visit all of them that need help in a fifth dimensional aspect, in astral form, and give them guidelines and tell them what channels to watch. Tell them to stay away from regular TV. Tell them to stay away from fear-based programming. Get out of the discussions that make no sense. Get out of the place of resistance. I would tell the youth, be in the place of the least resistance. Be at peace. Do not be in violence or surrounded by violence. Stay out of that. And find silence within yourself. Seek nature. And even if you go on a camping trip, go out somewhere, the woods or something with friends that have same ideas, and have like a weekend of quiet talks by a fireplace. Calm down, get out of all that stuff, get off the phone. A lot of young souls that are not aware, I see them on the phone over an hour. They need to realize over 5 minutes, microwave hitting your brain opens the blood valve left and right, and the blood reaches your brain hemispheres unfiltered, which is tough for the brain because you have less of a defense up there. You're damaging yourself. Be efficient in communication. You want to meet your friends, do it with SMS. Do a short notice. Don't do elongated conversations that lead to nothing, because what happens is that spiritual vampirism it'll deplete you. It'll take energy from you. So the young kids are very sensitive beings, very emotional beings, very open beings, and they need to be taking care of themselves, to treat them right and treat them in a nice way, and not be where the emotional body is being corrupted, and so they can hear themselves even more. So overall, to sum it all up is, again, don't listen to the radio, don't watch TV, watch movies that you like, try to stay out of fear-based movies, entertain yourself, and find like minds that can hear you, and make the conscious decision of choosing your information. Same with food. Google superfoods, how to make your brain function better, how to get out of sugar cravings, hyperactivity. Really investigate into the self more, because you are the most important thing that there is, because you are the future.
Yeah, and in going into that, do you have suggestions as far as for our listeners on proper diet?
Proper diet is, try to go to chlorophyllic green drinks if possible. Try to, if you have a juicer in the house, use it. There's plenty of videos on YouTube how to have raw food as in a liquid, get into smoothies, eating soup, finding out what food does to you. You can even investigate what blood type can eat what type of food. Very important. Not all blood types can eat all foods. Some foods are, even for certain blood types, are detrimental. People don't know that. Let's say a type O negative has problems with cheese and all that stuff, because type O negatives are an ancient race. These were the hunters, not the gatherers. These were more like the I'd say the last ones that can get away with eating meat, because they have the proper enzymes to break it down. The A and B blood type, they don't even have that, meaning they are very, very busy for a very long time processing cadaver in their body, and they can't even get the nutrients out of it because they're not even equipped for it genetically. So investigate into your vessel and invest into what gives power to you. And hopefully that can give you a bit of an idea of where to find yourself. David Wolf is a fantastic food guru that shows you how to energetically get into the efficiency of food intake, which is very important for young ones, because the brain is seeking to expand and it needs nutrition that some of you haven't even heard about, such as monoatomic substances, which are harmless. When people create that myth that this is metallic stuff that you put in your system, it's not in a metallic state because the electron is missing. To clarify that, it's in a monoatomic state, so it has a completely different frequency. And I do it, and it helps me a great detail. And yeah, I mean, I can go on. I mean, that's just roughly what you can do for yourself.
Mm-hmm. And what advice do you have for kids who are gifted but they're kind of struggling in school?
Find out the mechanisms in school that they're not getting too much entangled with that. Not to show your skills to those that don't understand your skills. Find more the people that understand you, and stay out of that getting an argument with teachers or whatnot, because those that don't see, it won't help. You can't argue with them. You can't even make them. If people are convinced or have a certain opinion how they run their system, it's nothing that you can do to change that. So it's more, find where your field of resonance is. And sometimes in school, in some places where people are allowed, just withdraw and step back from that. And the school system right now is what it is. I dream of an indigo school system that will enable kids to find their own kind, to link up and create meetings after school. So make the best. School is somewhat important that you learn the basics. You use your filters before you go to school in the morning. I have plenty of kids that use either my key to shield themselves from spiritual mobbing, or you can say shields up before you go to school, so you're aware and you program your subconscious that you have your shields up and the awareness. And when you come home from school, you say clear 4 times and you say align 4 times to help you to get out of the entangled spirit maneuvers that take place in school, because everything is left open and people just throwing their stuff and their energies around them carelessly, like dumping their problems on you, and then you carry their emotional construct home and you wonder why you feel like crap. It's because somebody else gave you something and you gave them the response they needed to feed on so they could perpetuate their living their illusion. So basically be aware in school, make sure your energy fields are up, you clear yourself, and you stay clear in your mind.
Thank you very much for that. I just want to let you know real quick, we have about 5 minutes or so left. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you want to bring up that you wanted to make sure you mentioned for our listeners?
Yeah, what I want to mention for our listeners is, like, again, my YouTube channel, if you want to watch a few things and see if that inspires you. I'm not trying to put out a dogma or saying you must. I think for me, trying to study the conscious in depth and really, really going into it because it's my passion. I love doing that. Check out the Sirius Starseed. This is my channel. Check out my brother's channel, Darrow7. We have a site where we find starseeds and connect. It's called unitedcollective.com. You get information there and explore basically the impossible stuff that nobody talks about. There are no books about it. And my site, www.ra-key.com. Those who have questions to topics or whatever, or transformational tools, just fill out the contact form and I answer the email myself. It's not automated. And let's have fun and live to create and do what we came here to do and expand our mind. And I'm very grateful that you had me on your show, and grateful for everybody that listened to me and had a voice that they hear within themselves, that they know that they can step up, that they can bloom, that they can spread their wings, and they can go out into the world and find those that will find them, so we can embrace this world like it used to be in ancient times.
And just one more thing, what do you see happening after the chaos sort of starts to settle and we see these new emergence of systems that come through? Can you give us some of your visions on that real quick?
Yeah, well, I will say that especially in Sedona, you will see technology coming out of these spiritual places that will be like magical to people. You will see communities that will be created on that concept, where people will come from the outskirts to visit and to look at how this is done. And completely new energies and consciousness will come forth from these, I call it fifth dimensional communities that will be built. And we have chaos around us right now, but we do our best to concentrate on building, creating with what we have, with the tools that we have. And I don't believe that the economy will go down. The controlled economy will go down, yes, but we still need material. We need wood, we need clay, we need crystals. So that currency will be ongoing, until we understand what's really needed. And it will be a smooth and transitional way into the next dimension, which is already taking place as we speak.
Thank you so much for that. Was there anything else you wanted to bring up? Because we do have a few more minutes here right before the end here.
What can I bring up? When you meditate, try to breathe into your thymus and inhale purple and exhale blue. And try to imagine that these are energy formats that will help you to rejuvenate or stay in your youth and re-coordinate your DNA and restructure your DNA. Investigate into monoatomic gold, what that is, superfoods, and stuff you need for your brain. Very important. You need to get your brain back online. And you're not going to be enlightened drinking soda pop, eating macaroni cheese. That's guaranteed. You need to eat conscious food because your computer needs the upgrades in order for you to go there. That's very important.
Thank you so much for that. And thank you for the show. It's been great. Honestly,
thank you so much.
Your creativity is very inspirational. Before we go, for our listeners, I want to invite our guests and, of course, our listeners to tune in next week for our show with Nancy Baumgarten from Profoundest Awareness Institute. But until then, Ra and everyone, remember that you are the leaders of tomorrow, so shine on.
May the long-time sun shine upon you. Oh, love, surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. Oh, love, surround you. And the pure light within you guide